Hello everyone. I hope you all can hear me. Am I audible? Just let me know. And welcome to the live class. Today we are going to discuss speaking. I will give you tips on how you have to attempt this module. So, can you all hear me? Just let me know. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much for confirming. So, let's start. Why some people find speaking so difficult? The reason is because they try to fake their accent. They do not try to be themselves. The problem is when you try new things, you have to be confident. Until and unless you are confident, you will not be able to get a good band score in speaking, because you have to be confident, you have to present your ideas, and when you do, you have to be very much clear, very much audible, and keep it very simple. Never try to use high sounding words. Do not, until and unless you are comfortable. Because when you are, suppose you are trying to use some very difficult word which you find difficult to pronounce, and when the pronunciation is wrong in the exam, you will lose your band. Why? Because you are judged on how you pronounce. Your pronunciation matters. And when you do mistake, you will get negative marking. So do not do these kind of mistakes. This is the one thing that I want to tell. And now let me show you. So these are the tips, the 10 tips that I have prepared. The very first thing is not to memorize your answers, because we have a lot of books, we have a lot of cue cards online, we have a lot of PDFs as well. But they are just to get an idea that how you have to speak. When you memorize your speed, that will never match with you have your cue card, you have the follow-up questions. When you have memorized your cue card, you will be speaking in a very high speed, very fast speed. But the problem will come in the follow-up questions. May or may not be same. So there comes the problem. Okay. So do not memorize, try to be natural as much as you can, because that is going to help. The second thing is use the vocabulary you are comfortable with. You know that where to use the vocabulary and how to use it. Suppose you know a word but you don't know how and where to use it. You are using it in a wrong context, then also you will get negative marking. Okay, and do not try to impress the examiner with high sounding words that I know vocabulary, this is something very new, and you are trying to impress. Do not try to impress, just express yourself. This is the main thing. Then use a range of, I will answer your questions, Sahibjot. Just give me a second. Just let me complete the tips. I will answer all the questions. Use a range of grammatical structures. You have to use different grammatical structures. Then you're not judged on your accent. Do not fake it. Suppose the Indian people, they have different accent. Other people, they have different accent. So they are not judged on that. Try to be natural. Okay, and you have to maintain a speed. Suppose in sometimes when we know the answer, our speed is very fast. When we are thinking, our speed is very slow. So try to maintain it. Okay, and avoid using fillers like well. Try to cut down them as much as you can. Okay, that will be done when you will do a lot of practice. Then you have to elaborate your ideas and answers. Why? Because you are being judged on the way you are speaking. And when you provide details, when you provide your ideas and answers, when you elaborate, the examiner comes to know about your way of speaking, your ideas, your examples, and how you speak, your grammar. When you will speak, then only they can judge you. So that's why you should elaborate your ideas and answers. Then is to be confident. You have to be confident. And the last thing is to do a lot of practice. You know, very informal. Try not to use it. Once or twice is okay because sometimes we're not having anything. Try to speak naturally. We speak, in between, that is quite natural. Try not to use in speaking. Those 15 minutes, try to be very much natural because the examiner, they are the examiner. So we have to maintain a formal tone. It's like when we talk to our friends or the people we know, then we can use this word, because the examiner doesn't know. He wants to know from you. This is the main thing. So that's why try not to use you know. You know means I know this thing, that is quite informal. So this is the reason I tell not to use it in your speaking. Okay. So we have three parts in speaking. Everybody knows the part one is about introduction questions. It will be about you, what you do. And the second part is about the cue card. You will be given a cue card on which you have to speak for 2 minutes. You will be given a time of 1 minute to prepare your cue card. Okay. The third section is about the follow-up questions. The follow-up questions will be around the cue card, may or may not be. But the thing is, the introduction questions, try to elaborate them in 2 to 3 sentences. That is more than enough. And cue card, you need to speak until the examiner stops you. And the follow-up questions, those are the main questions on which you are judged because they are a bit tricky. So try to elaborate your answers for 4 to 5 sentences. Okay, this is what you have to do. And when you do practice, follow this thing. That for introduction, you must speak for 2 to 3 sentences. Okay. And cue card, when you're doing practice, try to speak for 2 minutes. Do not stop before that. And the follow-up questions, 4 to 5 sentences must if you want to score 7 or 7 plus band score. Okay. And why some students they are not able to get a desired band score in speaking because they are doing some mistake in the marking criteria. We have four things on which you are judged. The first is fluency and coherence. The second is lexical resource. Third is pronunciation. Then is grammatical range and accuracy. How they work. Fluency is how clear and structured is your speech. It should be structured, use linkers, use sign points, extend your answers, add all the relevant detail, speak smoothly and continuously, use pausing correctly. We say that you should not pause in between, do not stop in between, but you should stop like when a sentence has ended. So they are the sign points by which they come to know that you know where a comma is and where a full stop is because it's not writing. You just have to tell them with the pauses, with the those. This is, your speech when you are talking it's very in a very clear way. tone is the exam score. Just let me know what is the issue. Is it okay now or is it still cracking? Okay. Okay. So the third thing is pronunciation, that how well you pronounce. And you have to be clear because your speaking is going to be recorded, and the person who is listening to you, he should understand all the words that you are using. Then while you're doing practice, you should record your voice, work on the words that you spell incorrectly, stress words and sentences correctly. Try to record your voice, okay? And then try to see where you are not sounding natural, because sounding natural is the main thing. Then you have to use correct intonations. Try to be easily understood. You have to be easily understood because in our daily life, we do not use some very different or high sounding words. We speak in a very simple way. That is what the examiner wants to see, that how well you can hold a conversation. The conversation has to be very much smooth. Okay. Then we have the grammatical range and accuracy. That is, you have to use wide range of grammar that should be accurate also, like used passive voice, direct speech, different tenses, conditional sentences, complex sentences. You can see the complex sentences video that I've made recently. The comma video is also there, that will be very helpful for you in your writing as well as speaking. How many sentences answer we need to speak in part 1? I told this that in part 1 you should speak for 2 to 3 sentences are enough in part 1. Part 2, until the examiner stops you, that is roughly 2 minutes. And the part 3, 4 to 5 sentences or 6 sentences if you have something to speak on, like if you're providing examples or something. So you can elaborate your answers till 6 sentences. But the part 1, that is 2 to 3 sentences. You can't elaborate that much. So that will be fine if you are elaborating 2 to 3 sentences. I got 8 band score in speaking, and I was very simple. The thing was, I tried to be very much clear. I never used so much of vocabulary. I used vocabulary at right place that I was comfortable with, that I knew how to pronounce and how to use it, where to use it. This is the main thing to do in your speaking. Try to be natural, try to be audible, try to be understandable. If there is any room for question in the examiner's mind, you are going to get less band score. Just understand this thing. In writing and speaking, you have to be understandable. Okay. Any doubts or any questions? If you have any questions or any doubts, just let me know. So these are the speaking part 1 topics. These are not all the topics, just an example. that you can get some questions about you, your study, your work, your town, free time, boats, birds, animals, holidays, sports, transport, shopping, toys, gifts, mirrors, and time management. About yourself, that what you do and how you do. If you manage your time, how you do it. If you buy gifts, what gifts you buy. If you voice is still not clear, just let me check it once. I don't know what's the issue. Is it okay? Can you all hear me? I don't know why the voice is not clear. Am I audible? Okay. So Sahib Jot's question is, while speaking, I have content regarding questions. Perhaps the problem is I'm not able to express this properly. Yeah, the problem is when you are speaking, you're not elaborating your answers, you're not confident, then you have this problem. Because whenever you get a question, you have to elaborate your answers, you have to explain your answers, you have to explain your question. Hello. Now can you all hear me? Because there was some issue. Hi, is it working? Can you all hear me? I'm really sorry, there was some issue with the network. So, where were we? Okay, I was answering Sahibjot's question. The question was that sometimes you have content relating problem. The issue is when you are not elaborating on your answers, whatever the answers are, you need to elaborate. Try to add detail when you're talking about the cue card. The three bullet points are there. You have to answer all of them. Try to add as much detail as you can because when you add detail, you try to make it simple for the examiner to understand and you are elaborating on your answer. Then the thing is, when you are elaborating, add some kind of example, add some kind of things that would, make it connected. In cue card, make a story. When you make a story, suppose they're talking about something, a competition that you won. What you have to do is you have to add all kind of details. What is the role of competitions in your life, and when you win, how you feel. Add all these things. Then when you start with the incident, then start from the scratch. How it happened, how you practiced, how well you did that you were chosen as a winner. So all these things they matter when you are providing detail. When you are not elaborating on your answers, then comes the problem. Because the main thing is you have to speak, the examiner wants to listen from you. They want to see how well you can hold a conversation, how well you can make the other people understand that how you speak. Because whatever has happened with you, you know that. The same thing, it's like a movie. When you see a movie, you see everything from the scratch. They tell you everything, how and what is happening. This is a thing you have to do. You have to narrate your story in an impressive way, in an easy way that the other person can understand easily. Okay, this will come with practice. This will come when you will do a lot of practice. You will have some ideas. Ideas how you get ideas you get when you do practice. You when you are doing practice, you will read some online resources. You will get some ideas from there. Then try to implement. Try to use them. This is how you get a good band score in speaking. Okay. I hope your question is answered, Sahib Jot. Still, if you have any issue, you can ask me, okay? So, these were the topics. These are the part one topics. Some of them, not all of them. And the part one is you will have 4 to 5 minutes conversation with the examiner about yourself, that what you do, from where you have come, and your personal interest. Okay? This is the thing that you are asked when there is the part one. In part one, the very simple things are there and keep it simple. Then is the part two that I told that you will be given a topic, a cue card on which you have to speak for 2 minutes. You will be given a pen and paper on which you can prepare your answer. And in that time, that 1 minute, you know how to use that 1 minute. That 1 minute, you have to see which tense is to be used, how you will be, taking your answer, how you will be making a story. Some vocabulary words that are coming in your mind, write them when you are, taking notes in that 1 minute. Because 1 minute is not that much in which you can prepare everything. Just think which tense you will be using. Suppose if they're talking about a journey you had, you will be using the past tense. So you will write that past tenses to be used. If you want to speak something about the future, that in future you want to have that kind of journeys or something like that, then you need to check that where and how you will change the tenses, the transition that you have to note. Okay, the vocabulary words that are coming in your mind, the phrases that are you are getting at that time, those things are really important because when you utilize that time properly, because some students they say that it's difficult for us to plan everything, but do not do planning if you're not comfortable with that. Try to arrange your thoughts. Arranging your thoughts is also good because some students they have a lot of thoughts. They say we don't need to plan. The planning is just to arrange your thoughts. Okay, so this is really important because cue card, some students they find it very difficult. Then we have the part three. Part three is just the conversation with the IELTS examiner around the topic given in part two. Discussing it in more detail will help you because you are mainly judged on the part three. Because part one is very simple, that is just a warm up session. Part two, you get some time to think in between. So you have some time. But in part three, you will not get any time. It's like a rapid fire. You get a question, you have to answer. You get a question, you have to answer. This is the main thing you have to do. So you have to prepare the part three questions in, do a lot of practice of these questions because some students they get stuck, they do not elaborate, then they get a question why, because some students they are not elaborating on the answer. What the examiner is asking, they do not understand. Sometimes they're not answering it, sometimes not adding detail. So the examiner will ask you why. And when a why is come, that is a negative sign. That means you're not answering properly, your answers are not complete, you are not providing detail. The examiner wants you to provide detail in the part three answers. Okay, so provide detail, whatever detail. It can be an example. If there is an example you can add any incident, you should add, that is okay. Just try to elaborate, make it more understandable. Okay, suppose we got this cue card. um, Describe a book you read that you found useful, or describe an exciting book you read. The thing is, you have to get your ideas around the book. This one, many students they find it very difficult because they sometimes they feel that what we have to speak about books. When you read it, you have to tell when you read it, what type of book it is, what is it about, why did you find it useful. You have to. When you read it, you will cook up a story around this question. When you read it, you can say that I was going through a very tough time. So one of my friends, she suggested that I should read a motivational book so that I can get the confidence in my life again. So you have arranged 3 to 4 sentences. This is just the story. What type of book is it? You will say that it's a motivational book which gives me energy to cope with my daily routine and the challenges that I face in my daily life. And I think it's the book which is very important for me to keep on working. I have added 4 sentences. What is it about? Then you will tell, take one chapter, take one, thing from that, whatever thing has impressed you, whatever thing you find exciting. Start speaking on that. Why did you find it useful? Because that made me confident, that made me come back in my life easily. And this is how you will be elaborating your answer. This is really easy. Cue cards are the easiest part because you got 3 to 4 bulleted points on which you have to elaborate. And when you do not elaborate, you will have less content. So try to add more details to the bulleted points that are given here. Okay. The thing is, plan your cue card in the time given. Suppose you are stuck in between, like after 1.5 minutes, you're not getting anything to speak. Try to pick one question from the bulleted points. Try to elaborate it again because you can't stop. Then repeating things after 1.5 minutes is okay. This is completely fine. You can do it if you are not getting anything. It's better not to stop. Just try to repeat. If you are, having this, what is it about? And then suppose you do not have any content to speak on these bulleted points, then you can tell about the uh, benefits of books, that how they are your good friends, how you can read books. Then you can talk about the online resources, that we have books online as well, that has made our life easy. They are portable, we can read them anywhere. While we're traveling, we can read them. So all these things, the things that are related, you can go a bit off topic when you're not getting ideas. After answering all the questions in the cue card, you can add something that is related to the topic. Maybe they're not asking, but that should be related. Okay, going off the topic is not that. You can add anything and everything about books, whatever things you can add. You can even say that I love to read books in the library. Tell the benefits of library. These things are connected. I'm talking about books only. But at the end, when all my content I have spoken, I have nothing to speak, then you can add these kind of details. A bit off topic, but connected to the topic. Okay. This is the main thing you have to do. Then the last thing is that we get the follow-up questions. Follow-up questions we have to answer 4 to 5 sentences. How often do you read books? Suppose this question is there, you will have to tell how often. I read books twice in a month, or I read books twice in a week, or you can say I'm a student, so I have to read books on daily basis. Then give the benefits. That what are the benefits of reading books? How books can impact on a man's life. Now answer. What changes can be there? You can say that we have books about all the topics like motivation. Then we have some interesting books as well, like novels are there. You can introduce that in this question. You can tell that if you're talking about the books which are related to our studies, we get knowledge, and then we get some books about motivation, then we get motivation to work. If we have something different like novels, storybooks, then you can talk about their benefits. This is how you get good band score when you elaborate your answer. They are talking about books. They're not talking about one type of book. They are talking about books. So you can elaborate. You can add some points. You can add different type of books that you have read and you know the benefits of. Okay. Then name some of the famous writers of your country. We don't know sometimes, we don't know the writers, we know the books. So you can make some names right there because it's not always easy to remember the names. Try to make names. Whatever names are coming in your mind, try to speak because they're not checking the facts. They just want to see the way you conversate and you hold a conversation and how well you can answer. The thinking process. The thinking process is there. Whenever you get some kind of question where you have to give the names, just make it, try to cook up some names. Or when you are doing practice, just pick 4 to 5 names that you will be using everywhere. That is also a thing that you can do. Because I had one student, she was having problem in names. Like what names, like if I am talking about writers. So I told her this thing and she got 7.5 band score. And she got the topic about books only and the name was not correct. So this is how you get it. Just you have to answer. The thing is they're not checking the facts that this name you said, is there any writer or not. Just make a story that looks real. Then Have you ever thought about writing a book? You can say yes, you can say no. You can say that I don't have that much ideas to write a book because I think this is very difficult. You need a lot of knowledge to write books because you have to elaborate on a lot of things and you have to take people's point of view in consideration. You have to be very much clear. So you can say no in this way. Do not say no, I don't want to write a book. Give detail why you are saying no, why you are saying yes. The thing is, whatever question you are getting, like how often do you read books, add a why yourself. This will help you. Name like how books can impact. Why? Add a why yourself. Answer the why. Because if you're not going to answer, the examiner is going to ask you. Then is how reading books is different from watching movies. Why? Why is good? Why it's bad? Whatever your answer is, add a why at the end. This is the tip to get a good band score in speaking. Adding a why everywhere. Yeah, writing book is not my cup of tea. You can say that because phrases you can use. This is good way. I find it very difficult. I remember only 4 to 5 phrases, and if they are, I can use. I feel very happy. Some students are very good with phrases, so if you can use, you must use. They are good. And memorizing and learning phrases is difficult. It's different thing. It's not about memorizing. If I'm saying that do not memorize, it's about memorizing answers. Phrases, we use in daily life, so that is okay to use phrases. Okay. Any questions or any doubts if you're having, just let me know. Whatever questions you're having, or if you find any cue card difficult, even you can join my WhatsApp group after the classes. If you find any difficulty, you can ask me the questions there. I have a group for this live classes only, live classes with DJ, where you can connect with me. You can ask your questions, you can ask your doubts, and I forward all the details of the classes. Day before, I tell the students, and even I ask for suggestions at what classes we should have. So we do all those things in the group. Yeah, Suja, you were very late. It was about half an hour. No problem. You can see this recording. The recording is going to be there. It will be uploaded in the evening, but still the recording will be there after the class. You can see it. Okay. Any other questions or doubts, whatever doubts, questions you're having, you can let me know. Or anything you want to know about speaking, ask your doubts. This is a good thing that the recording is going to be there. You can see it anytime. Suppose if you miss, because times do not match always. So you can see it whenever you have time. Okay. Yeah. So now time for the questions. If you have any questions, writing class. What do you want to do in writing? Just let me know. We can hold the class tomorrow as well. Not an issue. What exactly you want to do in writing? Sahibjot? Because I haven't planned anything for tomorrow's class. Learn Chinese language. Yes, you're very late. I'm about to wind up. But it's okay. The recording is there. You can see it after the class as well. So there is no issue. If you miss the class, you can see it later. That's all right. Sahib Jot, what you want me to discuss in the writing class? Because I was thinking to have writing class this week. So task two. Task two. Yeah, sure. This is all the students they want to discuss it. So we will have the class of task two tomorrow. We will in task two, what do you want to do? You want to do paraphrasing, you want to learn how to write, or you want to learn how to write body paragraphs. This is the thing that I want to know. That you can tell me later in the group. I think that we can discuss there. That is okay. Because some students they find paraphrasing very difficult. They do not understand how to paraphrase. And some students they have difficulty in getting ideas. And some students they find difficult to quote examples. I will tell everything. Okay, how to generate ideas. So we will do one thing. I'll pick one essay. We will write it together. I'll ask you for the suggestions and I will tell you and I will show you my essay, the simplest form. If we don't know the meaning of any words or sentences, what's the solution? The solution is nothing. You can't do anything in exam. Suppose if you are getting anything in reading and you don't know the meaning, you have to derive the meaning right away. You have to derive it. You have to understand what the meaning is. Whatever thing you are getting that time, that is the meaning. Because you can't do it anything there. And because we don't have any dictionary, we don't have anyone to ask. So what you have to do is you have to understand whatever you find the meaning according to your understanding. You have to think about that and try to find your answer. I'm not added in the group. Sahibjot, you can send me a message on my WhatsApp. I will add you there. Do you have my number? The solution I told that whatever thing you get in your writing or whatever the thing in any module, the main thing is to elaborate and to understand. It's about your understanding. You will not know all the words because when I do reading, I am not aware of all the words. So there is an issue. What you have to do is it's about your understanding, that how you understand the topic. While you are reading, you understand what they are saying. So it will be easy for you. When you do practice, this thing will not be there. This issue will vanish. Okay, so people who are not added in my WhatsApp group, they can send me a message on my WhatsApp. If you want me to share my number, let me see because I don't remember it. I'll share it with you. Okay. 778229420 Okay, so this is my number. You can see and you can send me a message on my WhatsApp so that I can add you in my WhatsApp group. We discuss everything there, whatever classes you want me to hold, and your suggestions are always welcome. So you can get in contact with me through this number. And on Instagram, on Facebook, and on Telegram, I'm with the name of IELTS with DJ. You can check. And if you're not able to find my number, you will find it there as well. I'm on Instagram. My Facebook page is there, and I am on Telegram as well. That is not that much active, but I post daily in my Instagram and Facebook. You can follow me there as well. Okay, so I think I have answered all the questions. So if you have any questions, just let me know. If you have any doubts, and if everything is clear, just let me know so that we can wind up the session. All clear? Very good. Okay. So we will hold a writing session tomorrow. I will see you tomorrow. Take care. And the people who are not in my group, I will add you all. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining in and participating. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye. Take care. Have a nice time.